It was a little bit on the dramatic side. All Access, Danny Jacobs versus Peter Quillin. Danny Jacobs, the WBA Super World Champion at 160 pounds. Peter Quillin, in his last fight, fought Michael Zarafa in a brutal knockout, sent him to the hospital. Then before that, he had to draw against Andy Lee in a fight in which he did not make weight. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. It was sad. It was a little gloomy to me. I think they could have did a little better with, hyping the fight. I mean, I guess, okay, well, we know Danny Jacobs is a cancer survivor. He had a tumor wrapped around his spine. And of course, for it to be his first episode of All Access, they had to talk about it. Then when it comes to Peter Quillin, they went through his whole life story, and I'm glad they gave it a half an hour and didn't try to rush, but I'm guessing that maybe one of these guys will be on another All Access in the future, and depending on who wins, because these are Al Heyman's two top 160-pound fighters, depending on who wins, they got to start fighting bigger and in better fights. Now, it's only one belt. One? Yeah, two. There's two belts that Al Heyman's 160-pound fighters may have access to. Oh, by the way, Erislandy Lara is supposed to be moving up. So imagine a Peter Quillin versus an Erislandy Lara, or Danny Jacobs versus an Erislandy Lara. But there's only two belts that the Al Heyman stable have access to when it comes to politics. That's the WBO, that's held by Andy Lee. Andy Lee is fighting Billy Joe Saunders on December the 19th. And then you got this WBA World, not Super World, this WBA World title, the secondary title that Danny Jacobs has. So you got Gennady Golovkin, who will now likely be the WBC the WBC Middleweight champion at 160 pounds. That will have three belts that he'll have, which is the WBC, the WBA Super World, and the IBF. Andy Lee has the WBO. Danny Jacobs has the WBA World. So when it comes to this WBA World status, this is going to be defended on a grand scale. After all, this is a Showtime fight, and this is going to be treated like a belt where it has like more prestige than the Super World. Because I'm thinking that the winner of Danny Jacobs versus Peter Quillin, I understand this whole formula of getting the boxers exposure and building them up, but they got to start fighting bigger fights. They got to start by fighting bigger fights. And I'm thinking the only real big fights out there for him now is a fight against Golovkin or a fight against Miguel Cotto or Canelo Alvarez. Will it ever be Canelo Alvarez? No. Will it ever be Miguel Cotto? Likely not. But, a Miguel Cotto versus a Peter Quillin or Danny Jacobs in New York would still would do big. But with the politics involved in boxing, I just don't know where these two guys, either or, if they win, can go from here. Now, there's 160 pounders they can fight, but at the same time, big fight 160 pounders are not in their political landscape. But All Access was good. Like I said, it was a little on the sad side. It didn't really get me hyped for the fight, but I actually did like the production quality. It was high quality. I mean, it is All Access. They're not going to skin. But they actually showed more of the boxers than I actually thought they would. Because I thought maybe they were going to do like HBO does, what HBO Road to 24/7 when it's only a 15-minute episode. But they actually gave a full 29 or 28 minutes or so, and Mayweather's All Access sometimes be like 18 minutes, 16 minutes. So we got actual good look into the fighters' lives. But a lot of the news that people don't talk about is how easy are these guys going to... Now, I know when you're in the ring, you can't go easy on each other, but there's no real beef because these guys are close friends. So these are two friends, having the fight to be able to win a world title. I mean, to be able to make money and fight for a world title. And this is the biggest fight, as I said before, that Al Heyman can make in the Al Heyman stable of fighters when it comes to 160 pounders. And we're not talking about 168. We're talking about strictly 160 pounders. So, T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live, December the 5th, 2015. I'm going to be watching the fight and covering the fight. Chris Algieri is also going to be taking on Eric Bonet. It's going to actually be a pretty good card. I'm not sure if I'm going or not. It's looking like I'm not going to be going. But I definitely will be at the January card in the Barclays Center that Deontay Wilder is supposed to be fighting on. T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.